Hey everybody, welcome to Game S Mornings, presented by Deku Deals, with me, Jeff Grubb, your host from giantbomb.com. Thank you for tuning in. In this episode, we're going to be talking about vampires crawling and Nintendo banning bikini succubi because it's Friday and nothing means anything anymore. It's going to be a good one because we have Jon Martin on the show. Jon, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Jeff. How you doing?
That's good. It's yeah, like I said, ready for some weird Friday news. It's not that weird, but there's some interesting tidbits in there. Ready for the weekend. I'm gonna try to really play some games this weekend. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna try to do a thing where I block out a large chunk of time for playing games, and then within that chunk, Jon, I'm going to block out I'm going to spend an hour and a half on this game and an hour and a half on that game, and I'm going to try to spread out the love a little bit, and then maybe coming out of that, it's like, well, maybe I want to spend more time with Death Stranding 2 or more time with one of these other games. Silent Hill F will be one of those games. So it's catch up time, and I want to just get at least my fingers on a few more games before we start having these conversations. Giving up the idea of beating a lot of these games, but I'm okay with that as well. It's that's usually how things go in November. But yeah, how are you doing otherwise?
I'm doing well. Yeah, can't complain. It's been a little cold, so have the excuse of being able to stay inside and
Yeah.
watch shows, watch movies, play games. So been doing a lot about that lately. And yeah, like trying to gather thoughts on end of the year games. Like there has been so much coming out. Been looking at a lot of different lists. I watched a bit of the joysticks the other day, and yeah, there's a lot I need to catch up on because I haven't even touched two of the games nominated for Game of the Year. So I need to touch Death Stranding. I need to touch Kingdom Come Deliverance. But going over to a buddy's tomorrow, and he said he would show me the ropes of Kingdom Come Deliverance. So that'll be a good
Oh,
fun
that'll
time.
be cool. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about spending more time with that as well. So we'll see. Maybe I'll stream this. I don't know. It might just be easier if I could focus on the games and start playing them and really get some good time in there. We'll see. But might also just if my analog 3D could show up at any point, I might just
Yeah.
fuck off and play some old games too. Who's to say?
Yeah. What
Uh,
do you?
yeah.
What's the game you want to load up on that thing first? Like when you think N64, what is your go-to?
Yeah, it is like the like those whole the holy trinity of extreme sports games for me. Just the physics in Excite Bike 1080 and Wave Race are like so much better than anything else from that time, and really they hold up to today. That it's really they always attract me. Excite Bike usually is the first one because it's like it's still very challenging and immediately satisfying at the same time. So I usually go to that first, but we'll see. Maybe this time it'll be Space Station Silicon Valley. Who's
Oh
to say?
boy.
We'll go in there
Yeah.
and just try something different. All right, let's get into the show. Let's explain what we do here. We're Giant Bomb, video game doofuses, independent games media. We don't have any corporations at our back. We have you at our back because you went to giantbomb.com/join and became a premium member. That enables us to continue doing all the cool stuff that we really like to do here that we know you enjoy. It's the vibes are good. The vibes are real good around here. It's just I could tell people are into the effort that we're putting in here, and we like to do it because again we can justify it because we are getting that support from you. Thanks to everyone who's come through to giantbomb.com/join and became a premium member. It means the world. Gets you ad-free episodes, gets you some goodies. We got a whole list of things that we're doing in 2026 coming out of the Bombathon that you're going to start seeing here pretty soon. That a lot of those will be for premium members first at the very least, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks again to everyone who supported us. And as far as this show goes, most weekdays, I, Jeff Grubb, will help piece your gaming life back together. That includes breaking news and maybe even some of our own original reporting. For all these topics, I'll get the input of a bona fide expert who will make me look smart. If you are watching live on Twitch, welcome. You can always listen to the show later on podcast feeds by searching for Game S Mornings or find the RSS feed on giantbomb.com. You can also catch the show later with chapters and timestamps on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. All right, we have a lot to get into, so let's start the morning mess with that Xbox Partner Showcase happened yesterday, and I gotta say, it feels like it went mostly under the radar for a lot of people. I don't know. I think a lot of people are just say it's a Microsoft third-party show. I think it's safe to assume most of those games will come out elsewhere. There's not a sense of urgency to go see the thing that's going to be locked down by Xbox, I think, is a big part of it. But it also feels like there's just a missing piece of them communicating to the audience why you would want to spend your time watching a show like that. That said, some decent games in there. And I think their presentation at this point is just to run trailer after trailer, not a lot of talking. And I appreciate that. It does feel like respectful of your time at the very least. Got some interesting announcements. I'll hit the ones that stood out to me, John. Hitman World of Assassination Elusive Target
Yeah.
Mission Eminem versus Slim Shady launches December 1st. This is from Sal Romano at Gamatsu. IO Interactive has announced Hitman World of Assassination limited time elusive target mission Eminem versus Slim Shady, which will be available for free from December 1st through December 31st, just in time for the holidays. Eminem is joining Hitman World of Assassination as both himself and Slim Shady in a new free playable mission starting December 1st. The surreal mission, crafted in collaboration with IO Interactive and Paul Rosenberg, features Agent 47 tracking Slim Shady through the twisted Pomsop Hills Asylum, a version of the Hokkaido medical facility with numerous references to Eminem's discography. Additionally, the season of Eminem vs. Slim Shady will bring a new roadmap of content, including an elusive target, 2 new challenges, 2 new featured contract batches, 3 returning elusive targets, including the Splitter with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and 2 returning events, Holiday Hoarders and Hokkaido Snow Festival. 2 new Twitch drops, the Bomb Ass Dynamite, which is of course a reference to us, I'm assuming, and the
Yeah.
Solstice Suit
100%.
will also be available. This is very strange to see, just Eminem and or Slim Shady in the Hitman game, but it also is pretty fun. I really like where that game is at with its collaborations. They're so off the wall at this point.
Yeah, it's something that when I see any sort of announcement for this Hitman game, it's going to provide a good time and like the excuse you kind of need to get back into Hitman for a little bit, doing a couple other missions.
Yes.
I think this is it's definitely not one of the crossovers I thought they were gonna have, going off of like James Bond was last time. So I'm just like, okay, so I guess one half of this is technically a fictional character, but like the other half is just like, oh, it's just Eminem, he's here, which
Yeah.
in and of itself is an identity. But yeah, I don't know. I don't need much for me to get excited to return to Hitman. It's kind of one of those games you can just
Same.
always go back to.
Yep, I always have that urge to go back to it. That's constantly there with that game. It happens especially around the holidays. It's a game I would traditionally play around Christmas time, and of course, Giant Bomb's Hitsmas was one of the best and one of my favorite things that we ever did here, I guess. And that is something. Hey, maybe we could recreate that. Do something fun with
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe go kill Eminem for the holidays. It's time.
Yeah. It's
Um,
time to bring in the cheer, holiday
uh-huh.
cheer.
I can't think of a better way to do it. Yeah,
No.
like I said, interesting collaborations. It
Yeah.
feels very boomer in a lot of ways because they're like, hey, Jean-Claude Van Damme and all these other people that just are not probably household names with Gen Z and younger. If anything, Eminem is not in favor with like younger people. So it's like, I don't know. This is not something that's popping off in Fortnite, for example. Although
Yeah. I mean,
maybe they've done an Eminem concert in Fortnite. And I just don't remember. Something says
boomerism is in the air right now. Like you said, Fortnite, like the Simpsons season is doing gangbusters. So I feel like
yep.
everyone's giving boomers a chance right now, which is nice. I
That's
love to be
finally,
included. Yeah.
finally, someone's giving
So,
boomers a chance. We did it, everybody. Uh,
oh
all
yeah.
right, Vampire Crawlers is ready to
Yeah.
become your next obsession. This looked pretty cool, right? Well, shouts out to Jessica Cogswell over at GameSpot for this. In the years since Vampire Survivors first hit PC, for the game first hit PC, Ponko Games has been busy. In addition to releasing numerous updates to its debut title, the company has expanded, entered into publishing, and paired up with other studios, including Vampire Survivors' biggest inspiration, Konami, to create a slew of fun collaborations. It's been an eventful few years for the BAFTA award-winning team, and its simple yet utterly engrossing bullet heaven game. And based on my time spent with Ponko a few weeks ago, that's just scratching the surface. For the past year, Ponko Games has been hard at work on its next game, Vampire Crawlers, a dungeon crawling deck builder that is a notable departure from the simplistic gameplay of Vampire Survivors. And yet, after spending around half an hour playing the game, it's abundantly clear that it shares much of the same DNA and the same penchant for chaotic fun. Although Crawlers is, at least initially, slower paced and less compulsive than its predecessor, it makes up for this with increased depth and strategy, all while incorporating elements that make the game delightfully unruly. And that's, I think the developers were saying that they want to take the concepts that make Vampire Survivors, other than the very core like genre and apply like the sparkly stuff they said and just like like maybe the retro style visuals, everything else, and apply it to other genres. And that's like one of their plans going forward. And this is the first example of this. And it is a turn-based dungeon crawler. It's a very different kind of game, but they're trying to convey the same feelings as Vampire Survivors. I think this is like a really fun way of doing things. How about you, John?
No, I think so too. 100%. I get the vibes that I'm going to love this game. I've been in a big card builder, like roguelike style mood right
Yeah,
now. It's
who
just
isn't?
an
Yeah.
easy way to relax. Yeah, and it's just they Vampire Survivors was like my killer app on the Steam Deck, and I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be a backlog machine, but it just became a Vampire Survivors machine for me. So, them nailing that gameplay loop that kind of scratches the itch of seeing numbers go up and being able to tackle bigger and bigger things. But you're like, yeah, it's kind of like akin to like an old JRPG, like one of those earlier Dragon Quests where you're not even on the screen and all these enemies are here. I know the soundtrack is gonna go really hard. That's gonna be super fun. But yes, no, it's definitely an interesting approach. I think I love this for them because, yeah, I mean, Vampire Survivors itself created such a boom, and so many games followed suit. Like I'm thinking like Brotato or even like a Megabot or whatever. This is good because I'm sure this game is going to be incredible. But it also means we're going to get a lot of more of these deck building, like RPG-esque things, and I think that is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Vampire Survivor style, like perk system, the card system, could show up in a bunch of different kinds of games and still work. And like, I think they're going to want to explore that in a bunch of different ways. I'm like surprised the first choice is a dungeon crawler, but I think that makes it even more exciting to me because it's like, oh, they're really just thinking this could apply to anything, and they're probably just going to want to do things that are fun for them that they have ideas for. And yeah, like I said, I really welcome that, and I hope that, like this is the kind of thing that can become a model for developers to have a lot of success. You know, I think there's a bunch of models out there. Yacht Club Games had a lot of success with
Yeah.
Shovel Knight, and then they had promised early on a bunch of DLC for Shovel Knight, so that's a part of it. But that was a really cool way of doing things. Just continue to explore that universe, remixing a lot of the stuff, and then building whole new games inside of that universe with the other characters, and then being like, and then we might consider some other stuff. Here's a puzzle style game. Here's now some new stuff that we're working on with like Mina the Hollower, while also maybe doing 3D Shovel Knight. That's a model of like a way of doing things. But I think this is maybe a more reduced version of that, of like, let's just work on one game at a time while also still obviously making a sequel to Vampire Survivors that can really express these ideas in different ways. It's cool.
Yeah.
Tides of Annihilation. Let me see here. I'm going to get down there. There we go. Shows off incredibly cinematic boss fight in new gameplay. This is from Alex Hopley at Game Reactor. Tides of Annihilation, the upcoming action game from Eclipse Glow Games, showed off some new gameplay footage tonight at the Xbox Partner Preview event. We didn't waste any time running around looking at the skyboxes like we're in an old E3 demo, and instead got right into the boss fight with Tyrono, the ferryman. The fight seems to give some of the it gives off some Souls vibes, or gives them a run for their money in terms of epic visuals and orchestral soundtracks, effects flying all over the place. It looked very cinematic, John, to the point where I think a lot of people are like, "This just isn't a game. You're just watching this." And I think that might be true for a lot of the fight, but I don't know. They said it was unedited and kind of emphasized that that's what the game is. When you see stuff like that these days, like the just super cinematic, overwhelming, like stylistic visuals, how do you feel about it? Because for me, I'm like, my brain switches off a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of becomes like an automated thing, right? Like when I mean right now I'm literally wearing like a Devil May Cry shirt where
Right.
I want the action to be like fully dictated by me and like my kind of expression on how I want to play an action game. So it does feel kind of like regimented and like you're kind of put down a path. I think it does look cool. Like I don't want
That
to
looks cool.
discount that for
I
this
get it.
game. Has a Castlevania vibe that I'm also like super into.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, long story short, like to answer your question, yeah, I mean, these games don't do a whole lot for me in the sense that I am looking for something with a bit more control as opposed to like pressing a button and I'm just already in their face. I want to like really think about the combat and Sometimes a tell is too big, and I want to be able to just get in their face, but not feel like the game is doing that for me.
Yeah, I think like if it's going to be a very cinematic thing where you are kind of hands off a little bit, there's a room for that. But for me, it's like, oh, the bar is up there at Chad is like saying Asura's Wrath. It's like that's where the
Yeah.
bar is at, where just the most absurd stuff is happening on the screen. And this looked like, a Final Fantasy, maybe an over the top Final Fantasy fight, but a Final Fantasy fight. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's so I kind of do want to feel like I'm a little bit more in control because Final Fantasy's done this before and often maybe better. Um,
Yeah, it kind of yeah, it
yeah, go ahead.
even looks a bit like 16.
It does.
It'd be
Yes,
cool. I do want games that are kind of just Asura's Wrath again. Like I know that
me
game
too.
is like heavily criticized, but that's one of the most gorgeous games I've ever seen in my life, and there's still not a lot of games that like reach that height. I would love for them to bring that back. I forget which dev at Capcom was behind that, but I'd love to see more of that.
All right. ZooPunk confirmed for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, and it had a reveal trailer at the partner preview. This is from Sal Romano at Gamatsu. ZooPunk, the January announced 3D action adventure game from Fist Forged in Shadow Torch, developer to TI Games, will launch for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam, Epic Game Store, and Microsoft Store. The developer announced. A release date was not announced. This is a 3D, yeah, action adventure, like sort of combat game with characters that I'm like, oh, these are like, the furry mech characters. They look familiar. I couldn't quite place it. And it's like, oh no, this is a sequel to Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch, which was a console and PC Metroidvania game that had like
Right.
these rabbits and other kinds of animals that were wearing mechanical suits and stuff like that. And the rabbit, I think, had a mechanical fist, and that was like the core gameplay thing. I didn't play a ton of it. I did touch it briefly, but I know a lot of people thought it was a really good Metroidvania. And one of my favorite things from in gaming is when a smaller studio or a studio that is not like at one of these major publishers puts out a game that people like relative, basically an indie game, and then they follow it up and they kind of take that same franchise and build on it, and make it bigger and make it different. They're not just doing another Metroidvania, which of course I would welcome, even though I haven't played the first one. I want to.
Yeah.
They're not just doing that; they're making a full like kind of AAA looking 3D action game, and it looked pretty impressive. I thought it looked good. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, it kind of caught me by surprise because I feel like I only played, yeah, like I played Fist, I think at like PAX East like a couple years ago, and that was my first big like chance with it. And that game felt good, so it's crazy that they're already at a sequel and it is a completely different style of action game, and it's
Yeah,
so soon and it does look really good. I'm pretty excited about this. I didn't play the first one. Maybe I should get around to that. There's no no drought of Metrovanias right now, but it
no,
definitely did stick out in those. I think it was like in a PlayStation or Xbox showcase like a while ago. But yeah, it's
yeah,
cool. It's just like wow, where they were already ready to create like a franchise, even if like the first game wasn't gonna hit as big as it did. I think it was like sort of an indie darling in a
yeah.
like tsunami of indie darlings I feel like we're in right now. But kind of crazy that this is just out of nowhere and it looks super good. Do we have a release date for this, or is
No,
it?
there was specifically not a release date for ZooPunk, so
Yeah.
gonna have to wait a little bit longer to find out about that. Probably sometime next year, though. We did get a release date though for Total Chaos. That shadow dropped. It launched now for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, according to Sal Romano at Gamatsu. Publisher Apogee Entertainment and developer Trigger Happy Interactive have released psychological survival horror game Total Chaos for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. It's $25. I thought it looked pretty spooky and cool, and also it kind of on the gory side of the survival horror like meter over there. And yeah, it's always cool to get a shadow drop, and I think this one was winning over chat when I was watching live. Chat was pretty miserable for the official Xbox stream on YouTube, at least. But this one, when this one happened, most people seem to agree. It's like, oh, that looks fun. I have not. I have this game. I have not tried it yet. Is this one like when you saw this and you saw it like dropped immediately? Any interest from you?
Um, it looks cool. Probably not up my alley immediately.
Yeah,
Wh- I do love survival horror. It's something I'm getting around to, but I have such a backlog right now of specifically survival horror games that it's hard to want to put it directly in the queue. But it does look really cool. I'm sure if it gets enough buzz, I'll come around to it down the line. I feel like I'm always a couple years behind in a lot of different genres as opposed to just playing the big games. But yeah,
Yeah, Chuck points out it's Total Chaos is a reimagining of an original Doom 2 mod, full conversion. And
that's
so yeah, like they did that way back, and now they are putting it out as its own game. And it's fully like it's a modern looking game and all that stuff. But yeah, Apogee goes way back to those days, so it's like maybe there's like a direct line there where they're like, hey, let's take that idea and make something out of it. Total Chaos also just sounds like a mod for Doom.
it's just
Like it's
and it's a sick name.
yes, absolutely right. It feels totally out of the '90s in a really good way.
Yeah, I definitely
Uh,
downloaded this WAD back in the day for sure, for sure.
yes, yeah, definitely has like a pack there, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll try this one. One thing that did not get announced at the partner showcase, John, Silent Hill 2 remake coming to Xbox, which it did quietly. This comes from Blair Marnell at GameSpot. Xbox Series X and S owners were left out when Blooper Team released its remake of Konami's Silent Hill 2 in 2024. Previous reports indicated that the game was a timed exclusive for PlayStation 5, but the 1 year anniversary passed without an announcement of an Xbox port. Now, Silent Hill 2 has popped up on one of Xbox's international storefronts, which seemingly confirms that it will be heading to other countries soon. Silent Hill 2 is currently available for half off on Xbox's Australian store. Konami has yet to formally announce it for Xbox Series X and S in the United States, but the game was recently certified for those consoles by the ESRB. It will remain an M for mature title, of course it is. Yeah, I guess this is more a heads up than anything. I do wonder if they literally just can't say that this thing is coming. They could not say that this thing is coming to Xbox until that 1 year date passed up, and they're just sort of like going to wait for that smoke to clear a little bit, and then be like, "Hey, it's on Xbox," and talk about it here in a day or two. What do you think?
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like I feel like this is kind of a like I don't know. It's kind of like a blunder on I don't know whose side of the fence it is a blunder on, if it's Xbox or Konami. I mean, this is one of the best games that's released in the past couple of years, and it did the impossible in like putting Bloober in those good graces, like making him be like, oh
Yes,
yeah, they can
they could do
actually
something.
hit. Yeah. There's a part of me that wonders if the reason it didn't get fully confirmed is because that movie trailer for that new the Silent Hill movie that's coming in January was like retracted because it was bad.
Hell
Um,
yes. Really, I didn't know that.
which makes me even more excited to see it because
Yes.
I just need to know what that's about. But yeah, I mean, I still need to get around to Silent Hill 2. I've been playing Silent Hill 1 on my PS3 lately. That's been a good time. But yeah, yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't want to capitalize on this.
I
I don't know if it's yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Marketing
it's just
deal?
it's strange it's not in that showcase. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's probably a matter of like it probably was going to be, and then there was like some question about, wait, can we talk about this yet? Because maybe we have to wait for the full year of the timed exclusivity for with Sony to lapse or something like that. Whether if,
Yeah.
if there's just questions around that, or maybe they have some other asset that they're working on that they're going to pop off somewhere else. Like maybe they're like, we really want to hit it with a big oomph at the Game Awards or something. And so let's
Okay.
just pull out everything else and put all our marbles in that instead. I could see that, I guess, but just like a commercial at the Game Awards being that's available now on Xbox or something like that. I don't
Switch
know.
2.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Good point. Switch 2 port, that could be the kind of thing where if they wait to announce it until that, they could just sort of get all the excitement at one point. Um, Okay, moving away from things coming to Xbox and the Xbox partner preview, let's get over to Ubisoft, which has a lot going on. They had their H1 earnings ahead of expectations, and that's not ahead of when they expected to announce it, because, of course, that was delayed. They delayed their earnings report. John Hicks over at GamesIndustry.biz has the details of what they actually did now that they've announced their earnings. Ubisoft announced H1, that's first half earnings, ahead of expectations, and confirmed it's on track to close its 1.16 billion euro partnership deal with Tencent. It follows a week of speculation triggered by the formal delay of Ubisoft's earnings results and a corresponding halt in share trading. That delay was due to a restatement of earnings for fiscal year 2024-2025. This position, now applied by the group going forward, has also resulted in a partnership signed in Q2 fiscal year 2025-2026 not being recognized in IFRS 15 revenues. That's like fiscal revenue year or whatever. I don't know. The company said. Notably, the company released its results under both international financial reporting standards, I guess that's the IFRS, and non-IFRS rules. They were probably prepping it both ways. So it just sounds like some accounting bullshit happened. And they had to sort of account for that, and that probably caused some problems to maintain compliance with the standards that they need to report their earnings in, which is, again, that IFRS thing. And so it was just, they were maybe doing it both ways, and like, okay, well, we actually need to do it under that compliance, so let's delay it. It's strange, but they did have some other like news to talk about. Let's see here. Let's go over their highlights. The second half performance was attributed to stronger than expected partnerships, along with strong performance of Assassin's Creed and The Division, which offset a soft performance of Rainbow Six. Yeah, it sounds like Rainbow Six is at a low point right now, with Siege's most recent update, I think, not being favorably received. The company said that the launch of Tencent-funded subsidiary Vantage Studios is imminent, and all conditions precedent have been satisfied. Vantage will own the company's prime brands of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six, and will be 25% owned by Tencent in exchange for a 1.16 billion euro cash infusion, which will be used to pay down Ubisoft's net debt, which currently stands at 1.15 billion euro. Ubisoft announced the partnership with Tencent in March. As far as the news goes, they had stuff like Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake, apparently due to launch March 31st. This is from My Nintendo News. We've heard plenty about the long-awaited Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake, though Ubisoft has yet to acknowledge its existence. Now, Insider Gaming has provided more information, with journalist Grant Taylor-Hill stating that it's set to launch on multiple consoles before the 31st of March 2026. Basically, John, Ubisoft had a timeline here of their lineup for the second half, and it still includes Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake. That I feel like it's a bit kind of rushing things a little bit. Shadows was just here. Does this mean this is coming before early next quarter?
I mean, that's probably what they want to aim for. That's probably they want to get it in before that like full year earnings report in March. It's very weird because I think they reiterated that they also wanted to have the Sands of Time remake there too.
They did,
Um,
yes.
so it's like I don't know if you're gonna overcrowd the year. We don't know if they even have an Assassin's Creed for next year, to my knowledge. But yeah, I mean, I can see the want to do that there. Releasing two games within that same time span, probably not the best idea, just because of how Ubisoft games come out, and then the people who want to pick it up day one pick it up, and then people pick it up 4 to 5 months later down the line, half off or something, which is kind of what's gotten them into this mess, that
Yeah, for
expectation.
sure.
So yeah, that is an interesting choice, especially because we're coming off a year with two Assassin's Creeds, and those games get so much bigger now than even when Black Flag came out, and that was like a big one, big one. So yeah, I can see it happening, but only because my expectations for Ubisoft doing reasonable stuff is so gutter level right now.
It's we know the future of Assassin's Creed is like pretty secure over there. That is one of
Yeah.
those ones that's part of Vantage. Vantage is the studio that they've been focused on, like this new unit that will be partly owned by Tencent, that they have not quite launched yet, but they say the plan is to launch it in January of next year. They also said, as part of this earnings report, that the idea is to have a bunch of these autonomous units that are separate from each other that handle various things. They have not said what that will look like, but they also plan to talk about that early next year. Do you think that means that like there's any chance that these other units that will be handling things that aren't Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, or Rainbow Six will be getting anything close to the same amount of love that those franchises are getting?
It's kind of hard to say. I would say probably not. I feel like Assassin's Creed kind of is in the position of a Call of Duty, right? Like it is kind of their bread and butter at this point, and um, it over time it seems more and more like if something doesn't hit two expectations with Ubisoft, we do slowly gut it slowly reduce the funds of those games. But um, yeah, I want to believe that having those separate sectors means we're going to be trying to get those individual franchises and IPs to a certain level. I mean, they're working on a Rayman game. They're working on Prince of Persia again. Who knows what they're going to be doing for their partnership stuff for, I guess, the Division 3 whenever that comes out. But it's weird. It kind of is interesting because it's like all these different pillars for Ubisoft. Does that mean that there is going to be less, knowledge transfer? Like, are we going to be able to know
Sure.
when games are coming out? When are we going to be able to know if someone's like found a breakthrough in one of their engines or something? It's a little scary to me, just because separating your golden egg from the rest of the company makes it seem much more likely that the other part of the branch is considered like a rotting part and they're just going to amputate it later. It's, I don't know, unnerving.
Yeah, it's like it already felt like Beyond Good and Evil 2 and
Yeah.
or yeah, whatever is happening with Rayman or a variety of different things are already not getting a lot of love at Ubisoft. They already feel forgotten and left behind. So it's like, how much worse can it get? And it's like, the reality is like those probably do get cut, but it won't stop there. They will probably be like, hey, things that were recently relative franchises. Chat pointed out Watch Dogs. Like something like Watch Dogs is going to have to compete for attention with something like The Division. And The Division's doing better right now. So it's like, we're going to put all our efforts into The Division as opposed to any of these other things. And so it's going to be sort of a Hunger Games for everything that was not one of those three core franchises. And I don't think any of these other autonomous units that are already being treated as afterthoughts, they're not going to be part of this initial January launch of Vantage. Sounds like, yeah, very quickly, everything else will be left to rot. We'll move on from this quickly. We got to get to the break too. But last thought or last question for you, like just for the core, like Ubisoft of these handling those three franchises, like what do you think the path there looks like? Is it just sequel after sequel for those three, or does this Vantage eventually start to like branch out again and make new stuff? Like, well, I don't know. It doesn't sound sustainable to me to just make Assassin's Creed sequels.
Yeah, I mean, it's how they position it, right? Like if they are going to within those big teams have aspects of Assassin's Creed and like a certain group making something akin to a Prince of Persia Lost Crown, like a 2D side scroller. Like I remember playing a couple of those on the DS for Assassin's Creed, and those were pretty fun. But yeah, it probably will just be the reverse of trend chasing, which is kind of what put them here in the first place, right? It is going to be sticking with what's safe, and it is going to be trying to like follow up things on a much faster cadence to get that money over time. Yeah, it probably is just going to be a sequel farm, isn't it? Kind of talking myself into that
Probably,
conclusion.
yeah. It's so hard to imagine them being like, all right, and now here's some like I remember when they introduced Watch Dogs. It'd be very hard for me to
Yeah.
like imagine Vantage doing something like that again, where it's like, hey, we're going to try this whole new franchise that's sort of like a spiritual alternative to Assassin's Creed that's modern
Yeah.
and deals with hacking. And it's new ideas and it looks new and it's a whole new IP. It's just that feels insane at this point for Vantage. But I don't know. If this works in terms of just like focusing on these three franchises and they can grow those specific franchises, then maybe 10 years from now, who knows what can happen. All right, let's hit that break. If you want to skip out on these, you can go to giantbomb.com/join, become a premium member. That is where you can get the premium versions of the audio show, premium versions of the video show. Those don't include ad breaks. We will be right back. Jan, you taught me to overcome my fear of sharp objects. I want to teach you how to overcome your fear of saving money.
No, I don't wanna. I will only ever pay the manufactured suggested retail price.
Stop. You don't have to live this way because now there's Deku Deals.
The double D?
That's right. Deku Deals is the best way to find deals on any major gaming platform or store.
I don't want no bunk out of date coupon code, Grubb.
It's nothing like that. Deku Deals has both the hottest and the freshest deals updated constantly. It's also just added Steam support with a super simple page to find bundles for Steam code.
Ooh, I just found the Mist and Riven Complete collection for $8 on Humble using Deku Deals right now.
I also use Deku Deals to build and add and share wish list. You can even use it to keep track of your collection.
You know what? I think we should all build some lists and host them on DekuDeals.com/giantbomb.
And if listeners go to DekuDeals.com/giantbomb, they can vote to make us play a game on the November 21st episode of Unprofessional Fridays.
Learn more at DekuDeals.com/giantbomb.
Game Mess Mornings is back. Jeff Grubb, Jon Martin. Let's hit the details of this last Ubisoft story before we move on. We talked about it a little bit, but Ubisoft reaffirms Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time Remake will release this financial year. This is from Alex Hopley at Game Reactor. Ubisoft has once again confirmed that Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time Remake is set to release this financial year. Despite us seeing almost nothing from the project aside from fresh reveals and extra confirmations, it's still arriving soon. This comes from Ubisoft's latest financial earnings report, where we're told that Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time Remake, Rainbow Six Mobile, The Division Resurgence, and this cuts off, but I think it might be the reference to what we just talked about in that last story, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, will all be out this fiscal year. Yeah, it's like they mean March 31st, 2026. Like we're talking 4 months. So in the next 4 months, we're going to get all this stuff. It's especially that we haven't heard much on any of these things. Like, have they even publicly confirmed that like Assassin's Creed? They must have confirmed Assassin's Creed Black Flag before this at some point, because they're talking about it.
Yeah,
But either way, we haven't heard much about it. So it's like, do we get like a lot of these announcements at the Game Awards? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, right? Like announcing it at the Game Awards would be good for, I guess, shadow dropping and getting the digital sales over the holiday break, but it's so bizarre that they didn't want to launch something as big as like Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. And they might think of it as a lesser franchise at this point, which is cruel and stupid, but it really does feel like, yeah, if this is going to happen, it's just going to be a shadow drop, it's out, enjoy. Which is weird because like I don't even remember what the game looks like. Like, I know they had to work on it, and I more so remember the yellow text delays of it, or I think it was blue text because Prince of Persia. But like, yeah, it's been so long. It's been like 3,000 years since this game was announced, and we saw it once, and then nothing again. Yeah, I don't know the strategy for this. It sounds like they're kind of just sending it out to die without any fanfare or anything. When do you fit that in? It doesn't make sense to me, but I don't know. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I guess I was like, does Ubisoft's fiscal year actually in March 31st? I know a lot of companies do, but I thought I remembered them going like mid-year to mid-year, but no, I guess it is March 31st. So, yeah, all before the end of this upcoming March. This chart has a couple of games that have come out. Like Anno, and I guess, well, no, Avatar from the Ashes DLC will be out in December. I think this is Assassin's Creed Mirage DLC is coming out soon. So some things that like we know about either have dates or they're coming, or we know that they'll be out before the end of the year. It is these 4 games: Rainbow Six Mobile, The Division, the mobile game there. I think I got some mobile game. Maybe it's another kind of game. I can't keep track of The Division. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time Remake, and then an unannounced title. But Insider Gaming says that unannounced title is Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake. So yeah, I don't know. It just feels like if these are coming out in late March, I suppose they could start talking about it in January. But it's like all of them are coming out at that point. You know what it is? It sounds like the ongoing mess over at Ubisoft, where they're just some of this stuff might be getting lost in the sauce of them trying to figure out what they're even doing anymore. That's probably not out of the realm of possibility, right?
No, that seems entirely what it's like right now. I mean, they're focusing on splitting their company in half right now, trying to take on a lot of other business plays, trying to get that cash infusion from Tencent. So I would not be shocked if it's like, oh, we've had these things to go, but we haven't had the time to schedule them in a way that makes sense and kind of best brings in the audience who are here for those kinds of games, but might need some time to save money or just get ready for it. put things aside and like measure out time. It's just very weird. They're gonna need to rely on those partners for announcing it for sure. Like
Yes.
Game Awards for sure. Like they need like a state of play or a Xbox or a Nintendo Direct or whatever. I don't know what Xbox calls it. And it was even yesterday. I don't
Yeah,
know.
partner preview. Yeah, I keep forgetting it too. I was like partner showcase, and it's partner preview. Yeah, you're right. With Game Awards coming up, that is a place where we could very easily see Black Flag. That is, and then all the rest of them after that, it gets announced, like with a release date. It's like the rest of them can sort of fall anywhere, and that would make sense. I suppose they could shadow drop an Assassin's Creed game, but again, that just can't happen. So I feel like they'll wait till next quarter. We'll see. Last couple of stories. Street Fighter 6 smashes the 6 million player barrier. This is from Jonas Mackey at Game Reactor. For 8 months, from May 2023 to January 2024, fighting fans really had a field day. First came Street Fighter 6, followed by Mortal Kombat 1, and then Tekken 6. Is that right? Is it not Tekken 8? Although the middle one doesn't seem to have done as well as NetherRealm and Warner had hoped, it still sold 6 million copies before support was recently discontinued. And now Capcom is celebrating the same milestone with Street Fighter 6, which continues to go from strength to strength, selling 6 million copies. That's according to an Instagram post from Capcom. Boy, it seems like Street Fighter's back on top of the world in a lot of ways. I think it's like assumed its rightful position as like the fighting game,
Right.
and it's showing up in the sales in the way that it has before, but not in the most recent Street Fighter games, which kind of struggled to get to this point after some time.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, like even in the Game Awards, like Mena RD and Kakeru are both representing the fighting game category in a way I don't even remember the last time someone in the fighting game scene has been nominated for one of those awards, which is super exciting. Yeah, and I mean, I'm trying to think, when did Street Fighter 5 die? Like around like it ended in like, well, I guess 2023 when Street Fighter 6 came out. So
Certainly,
that
yeah.
had 8 years to get to that point. I mean, we are just 2 years out from Street Fighter 6. It is absolutely crushing it.
Yes.
It is my go-to fighting game at this point. Like it's the one I play the most, the one I mess around with the most in terms of like what's currently being played. And yeah, no, I'm just in love with this game, so it just makes me happy to see it doing well and people playing more Street Fighter.
Yep, same. It's good to know that they have found their audience, and I think I don't know, feels like every day more people are becoming Street Fighter people, which I appreciate. All right, obviously we got to do this story. Most important thing of the week: bikini-wearing Succubus board skyrockets to top of Kirby Air Riders custom market after Nintendo ban wave. One more time. Bikini-wearing Succubus board skyrockets to top of Kirby Air Riders custom market after Nintendo ban wave. This story comes from Kenneth Shepard at Kotaku. Let's see what
Doing the
Kenneth has
Lord's
done
work.
here. What sins have you wrought here, Kenneth? Well, that was fun while it lasted. Nintendo has taken down a Kirby Air Riders custom vehicle from its user-created store that depicts the series' supporting character Chef Kawasaki in a bikini. As a result, fans are flocking to a similar hoverboard that's still in the marketplace before the company can ban that one too. Automaton reports that Japanese fans have been expressing disappointment online after the original custom hoverboard that was painted to look like Kawasaki in a micro bikini had been removed. That had been banned from the game. Let's see. The design originates from a banned fan game and went on to become a meme in the Japanese Kirby community. So it's entirely possible that this is just an extension of Nintendo and Kirby developer HAL Laboratory trying to wipe the scantily clad chef from existence. However, as of this writing, there's still a bikini-wearing Kawasaki on the Air Riders marketplace, though it's not quite as revealing. Thank you, Jan, for letting the people see that. This is the original one. Or no, this is the new one, I think. I think this is the one that's still up there. There's one in an actual micro bikini that I'm looking at right now, and y'all...
It's in the dock.
Yeah, so that's a lot. Following the banning of the first one, another bikini, blah blah blah, came out. Yeah, it's in the top 5 of the other. It's I don't know. It's about the same. They have wings. I guess that's what makes it a succubus.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this game, Jon Martin?
It's great. No, this is great. I mean, not the banning part. That's horseshit. That's that's what Sakurai always wanted. He wanted to give players the utmost customability. It is a game you got to sink your time into. So you need to pick a vehicle that you're super invested in. And I think this is doing it for a lot of people. They wanted to push Kawasaki. He has
Put
an
everything in
amiibo.
Kawasaki. Put all my money in Chef Kawasaki. I'm
Oh yeah.
invested.
Oh,
To
the
the
amiibos are
moon.
going to be scalped.
Yes.
Scalped to high heaven and removed of their clothes and bikinis plenty. Yeah, this is hilarious. Like the game came out yesterday and there's already a story breaking out this game. This
Yep.
is pretty hilarious. Yeah, and I've been a Kawasaki day one since the TV show when I was a kid. So happy to see my boy making headlines.
Good for you, Chef Kawasaki. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I've not touched this. Dan has the code, and so he's been playing it. I think he put on Blue Sky some of its thoughts. Mostly, he has questions still about the game, and I think I'll probably feel the same way when I eventually pick it up. All right, that does it for the headlines. Let's wrap up the poll question from yesterday, and then we will end the week with the Bomb 12. But first, let's do the poll question. Have you ever purchased in-game currency for someone as a gift? 27% of people responded with yes to this question, and 73% said no. Yeah, it's like 1 in 4 people have done this. It sounds like it's becoming more popular, or at least it's becoming something that younger gamers are requesting more frequently. Is just get me currency in a game. So V-Bucks and Robux and all that stuff. Have you ever done this as a gift purchase before, John?
No, my kid cousins are fully into the Pokemon card scene, and their parents are pretty strict on what games they let them play. And usually come to me just asking, "Hey, do you think this is cool or not?" And so I personally oh, I guess I have. Does gifting a battle pass count? I definitely gifted a couple people during
Yeah.
the pandemic one just to get them to play. I think Fortnite for me because I was bored and it was free, so people would actually play with me.
Yeah, I guess it's
So
at least related, and like they're adjacent. Buying just straight
yeah,
up buying the battle pass feels like just doing the next step for them.
yeah, yeah. So I guess technically not, although I do give eShop money to a lot of friends, or I give like PlayStation or Steam gift cards to a lot of people. So um, I this has not happened for me yet. Has it happened for you? Have you done this?
Uh, but my kids do occasionally ask for Minecraft money. That so
Sure.
I will get them that for like kind of like as their allowance. Really is the way we look at it a little bit. Although we've started doing other things for that, so it's in vogue and then it's out and then it comes back suddenly where now they're like they remembered they really like Minecraft and they want to get another thing. I When I had like nieces and nephews, they're a little bit older, like in college and high school. And so I would get them like games for their 3DS and stuff like that when they were
Yeah.
younger. So it was a little bit before this time. All right. No new poll question because it is Friday. We're going to do the Bomb 12. We'll wrap up the show with that. So let's get some of this other stuff out of the way. Jon Martin, where can people find you on the internet? What do you have going on and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I mean, not much going on right now, getting ready to travel for Thanksgiving. So you can find me on Blue Sky at Jon Martin. I'll tweet when I'm doing something. Um, yeah, I'm still working on videos. It turns out doing video essays take a lot of time, doing a lot of recording for things. So yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out on Blue Sky and just making jokes and stuff.
Excellent. Well, thank you for being on the show. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Let's see here. Giant Bomb. Giant Bomb has other stuff happening today. Let me go ahead and pop the calendar open, make sure that we know exactly when that's happening. Yes. So we will be doing Unprofessional Fridays Just Dance Edition because that is
Oh, hell
likely
yeah.
going to be the winner of that poll over on Deku Deals. We will be playing Just Dance. Basically, by that I mean I'll be streaming Just Dance and I'll be dancing, and then the rest of the crew will be following along and dancing at home, like it's basically a YouTube video, which is how the majority of kids play Just Dance anyhow. So we are going to teach Mike how to Dougie. We'll see if we can do
Oh,
it.
yeah, I'm ready for that. I gotta tune in for that.
Yep, it's going to be real good stuff. So don't miss out on that. It'll be a fun time. All right. And then Next week's a short week. Some other stuff we should say. The site is going to be frozen in like the first week of December. You should log into the original giantbomb.com site right now if you have not in like the last couple of years to make sure that your account doesn't get deleted, because we're going to launch the new site. And when that happens, there's no going back. So let's see, anything else? I'll join the Wiki Street team to help Chuck build out the wiki. And yeah, I think that's good. I think we're clear there. All right, John, you know what that means. It's time for the Bomb 12. Let's get to the 12 games that really matter to people who are really playing video games. I have the results right here. Okay, this is for November 21st. You know what? I'm just going to update that live. Let's show everyone how we can magically update things. 21st. There we go. All right, number 12 is Absalom. Number 11, Morsels, which do you know what kind of game that is? I keep seeing the name, and I've checked it out a couple times, and then it immediately leaves my head what kind of game it is. There's a reason I haven't picked it up, though.
Yeah, no clue. I have no idea what that game is, actually.
People seem to really like it. There's some reason I'm not clicking with the idea enough to go check it out. People, if the game's dope, check it out. I will. I think that the best way to solve the problem I'm having right now of not knowing what it is to just go play it. Number 10, Fortnite. The Simpsons doing work over there. Number 9, Demon School. Something that we should check out maybe before
that game is
Thanksgiving.
Rad. Definitely do. That game is so fun.
We'll see if we can make that happen. Number 8, Lumina's Arise. Number 7, Ghost of Yotei. Number 6, Kirby Air Riders. An early showing on the chart. It'll probably be higher next week. Maybe we'll see. Number 5 is Ball Pit. Number 4, Hades 2, which has kind of been in that range, like just outside the top 3 for a couple weeks now. It's like just constantly hovering around people playing Hades 2. Number 3, Arc Raiders. Number 2, The Outer Worlds 2. And number 1, the last entries in its episodic structure, Dispatch, really coming together. We saw like charts of its Steam concurrent players where it would shoot up when new episodes would come out and then it would drop off. And then the next week it would shoot up, but even higher. And it kept doing that week after week. So it really seems like the episodic structure for Dispatch worked in its favor in a lot of ways. It helps that it's just a really, really good game and has a great story and looks great. Just kind of nails everything over there. So that's your number 1 for this week. If you think another game should be on here, well, you can have your say in next week's The Bomb 12. Go to giantbomb.com. I post a blog post there where you can find a link at the bottom to a form where you could submit your game for The Bomb 12. All right. I think that's going to do it, John. Thank you once again for hanging out with me today and talking about video games, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, Jeff. Anytime. Love being here. Love the Giant Bomb audience. And yeah, it was a good time today.
Thank you all for watching and listening. You are the best audience in gaming. Until next time, have a good one. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.